The sun rose slowly over the village. It painted the sky in soft shades of orange and pink. This was a normal morning. Birds sang their happy songs in the tall trees. The air was fresh and cool. Farmers were starting their day's work. They walked to their fields with tools on their shoulders. In a green pasture, a mother cow stood peacefully. She was a strong and healthy animal. Her calf was nearby, playing in the soft grass. The world felt calm. It felt safe. Everything was as it should be, but danger was hiding. It was silent and deadly. A giant python was nearby. It was a huge snake, longer than a small car. Its skin had patterns of brown and yellow. This helped it hide in the dry leaves and grass. The snake moved without a sound. It was looking for its next meal. The mother cow did not see the danger. She continued to eat the morning grass. The python watched her. It waited for the perfect moment. The peaceful scene was about to be broken. A fight for survival was about to begin. Suddenly, the python attacked. It was incredibly fast. One moment, the cow was calm. The next, the giant snake was on her. The python wrapped its powerful body around the cow's legs and stomach. Its muscles were like steel bands. The cow was trapped. She could not move her legs to run. The snake tightened its grip with every passing second. Panic filled the cow's eyes. She had never faced a danger like this. Her peaceful morning had turned into a terrifying nightmare. She was in a fight for her life against a monster. The cow let out a loud, desperate cry. It was a sound of pure terror and pain. The sound cut through the quiet morning air. It was not a normal moo. It was a scream for help. Her calf ran to a safe distance, confused and scared. The mother cow struggled with all her might. She tried to shake the massive snake off, but the python was too strong. It held on tighter and tighter. Her loud cries echoed across the fields. They traveled over the small hills and reached the village. The sound was an alarm. Something was terribly wrong. The villagers heard the cow's desperate cries. They stopped what they were doing. The sound was urgent. It spoke of great danger. Men and women looked at each other with worried faces. They knew that sound. It was the sound of an animal in deep distress. Without a word, they started to move. They did not hesitate. They did not wait for someone to tell them what to do. They knew a member of their community, human or animal, was in trouble. Their instinct was to help. They started running toward the sound, their hearts beating fast with concern. They did not have special weapons. They were simple farmers and workers, but they were resourceful. They grabbed whatever they could find. Some men picked up long, sturdy sticks from the ground. Others found thick ropes used for farming. A few even brought large machetes, their sharp blades glinting in the morning sun. These were simple tools, but in the hands of determined people, they could be powerful. They were not an army. They were a group of neighbors. They were united by a common purpose: to save a life. Their courage was their greatest weapon. The group of villagers ran across the open fields. Their feet pounded on the dirt path. They followed the terrible sounds coming from the pasture. As they got closer, they could see the shocking scene. The giant python was completely wrapped around the poor cow. The snake's massive coils were squeezing the life out of the animal. The cow was struggling, but she was getting weaker. The sight filled the villagers with a mix of fear and determination. The snake was huge, a truly fearsome creature, but they could not let fear stop them. They had to act, and they had to act now. They arrived at the scene, a brave and determined group. There were about 10 of them. They quickly surrounded the struggling animals. They knew they had to be careful. A python of this size was incredibly dangerous. It could easily harm a human, but they also knew they had to be fast. The cow did not have much time left. The villagers began to shout. They yelled at the snake. They hit the ground with their sticks. They tried to scare the python and make it release its grip. The battle had begun. The first challenge was to stop the snake from squeezing tighter. The python's grip was immense. 4 of the strongest men took action. They grabbed the snake's thick tail. They pulled with all their strength. Their muscles strained. Their faces showed the intense effort. The snake was heavy and powerful. It was like trying to pull a living rope made of stone. The python resisted. It tried to coil even tighter around the cow. The men held on. They refused to let go. They were the anchor, the first line of defense in this desperate struggle for life. Other villagers moved in closer. They used their long sticks. They were careful not to hurt the cow. They wedged the ends of the sticks between the snake's coils and the cow's body. Then they started to push. They worked together like a well-trained team. They pushed and pried, trying to create space. They wanted to loosen the deadly grip. The snake's skin was tough and slippery. It was difficult work. Every inch they gained was a small victory. The air was filled with the shouts of the men and the pained cries of the cow. It was a scene of organized chaos. One brave man saw the snake's head. It was near the cow's neck. He knew this was the most dangerous part. He took a piece of cloth. He carefully approached. He had to be quick and precise. He threw the cloth over the python's head. This confused the snake. It also protected the man from a potential bite. It was a risky move, but it was a necessary one. This action distracted the python for a few crucial seconds. It gave the other villagers a chance to work on the coils. Teamwork was everything in this dangerous dance with death. Slowly, their efforts started to work. The pulling and prying created a small opening. The snake's grip was loosening. The men with the sticks pushed harder. The men holding the tail pulled with renewed energy. They could feel the snake's power starting to fade. It was a battle of endurance. Who would give up first? The villagers were determined it would not be them. They were fighting for one of their own. They shouted encouragement to each other. Pull harder. Don't give up. Their voices were a testament to their unbreakable spirit. Finally, with one last coordinated effort, they did it. The villagers pulled the last coil free from the cow. The giant python was off. It was a moment of incredible relief. The men who were pulling the tail dragged the massive snake away from the exhausted cow. The snake was tired from the struggle. It did not fight back anymore. The immediate danger was over. The villagers stood back, breathing heavily. They looked at the huge reptile. They had faced a monster from the wild, and they had won. Their bravery had paid off. The mother cow lay on the ground. She was breathing hard. She was exhausted and terrified, but she was alive. She slowly got to her feet, her legs trembling. The villagers checked her for injuries. She had some scrapes and bruises, but the snake had not broken any bones. Her calf came running back to her side, nudging her with its head. The mother cow licked her baby. She was safe. The villagers watched with smiles on their faces. This was why they had risked their lives. Seeing the mother and calf together again was their reward. The villagers were not cruel. They understood the snake was just being a snake. It was hunting for food, following its nature. They did not want to kill it. They carefully placed the huge python into a large sack. They worked together to carry the heavy load. They took it deep into the forest, far away from the village and the farms. There, they released it back into the wild. It quickly slithered away into the dense jungle. They showed respect for nature, even for the creature that had threatened their livestock. It was an act of great wisdom. That day, the villagers showed the world what true courage is. It is not about having no fear. It is about facing your fear to help others. They showed the power of community. When they worked together, they could achieve amazing things. A group of ordinary people with simple tools saved a life from a powerful predator. Their story is a powerful reminder. It tells us that when we stand together, with brave hearts and helping hands, we can overcome even the most terrifying challenges. Their heroism will be remembered in their village for many years to come.